I'm fully prepared with everything I need for the Jay-Z documentary. The moment he sent that legal letter, I knew I had to let the world see who he really is. He and Diddy are cut from the same cloth. He just hides his arrogance and control behind a cleaner image. Our feud has lasted 20 years, and I know better than anyone what he's done in the shadows. I even suspect that so-called funeral bouquet wasn't Diddy's idea at all, but Jay-Z acting on his behalf. Back when Nicki Minaj posted that video of him wearing a pink wig, all I did was repost it, and he got so nervous he had his lawyers threaten me. In 2015, Nicki worked her ass off helping him build his platform, and he allegedly pocketed her $7.9 million in royalties. And then there's his fingerprints all over key incidents through the years, whether it's the elevator footage or the guest list at Diddy's parties. He was involved, clearly, but somehow he always walks away untouched. That's what he's best at, pulling strings behind the scenes while pretending to be spotless in public. And now that a corner of the darkness has been ripped open, I'm not stopping. Everything my team and I are doing isn't about attacking anyone, it's about making sure the truth can't be buried by him ever again.
Jay-Z ain't answering the phone?
He ain't answering the motherfucking phone.
Yeah, it's like this, like
We had a black billionaire's lunch.
black excellence, they're sitting there like, yeah.
3 minutes. That's all it took for the entire internet to flip upside down. One cryptic post from 50 Cent, hinting at alleged messages, and suddenly timelines were refreshing like it was a surprise album drop at midnight. Group chats lit up. Comment sections went into full emergency mode. Because when 50 Cent decides to share something, it's never just content, it's calculated chaos. He doesn't toss pebbles. He launches boulders and watches the avalanche form in real time. And this time, the name attached to the frenzy wasn't random. It was Jay-Z. Now let's be clear. Jay-Z is not known for Instagram spats or comment section clapbacks. He moves like a chess grandmaster in a room full of checkers players. Silent, strategic, surgical. So when 50 Cent even hints at alleged private messages involving him, it's not noise, it's tension. Because if 50 is the spark, Jay-Z is the slow-burning fuse you don't see until it's already lit. This isn't playground drama. This is heavyweight level energy. And the wild part, there wasn't even full context. Just enough ambiguity to set social media on fire. People started speculating instantly. What was said? Why now? Is this trolling or something deeper? Within minutes, headlines were forming, reaction channels were scrambling, and Jay-Z's name was trending like the internet owed him rent. One post, one alleged leak, and suddenly, the culture felt like it was holding its breath. This wasn't just a viral moment. The moment 50 Cent hit publish, it didn't read like a normal post. It read like bait, a carefully measured, slightly blurry, just vague enough hint at alleged messages that instantly sent the culture into detective mode. No full receipts, no complete context, just enough smoke to make everybody scream fire. And when 50 posts smoke, people assume there's a bonfire behind it. Let's not pretend this is random behavior. 50 Cent has built a second career out of digital disruption. He treats Instagram like a reality show he produces, directs, and occasionally detonates. He knows exactly how to drop a breadcrumb and let the internet bake the whole loaf. So when he vaguely references alleged private messages and Jay-Z's name floats into the atmosphere, it's not accidental. It's strategic suspense. Within minutes, screenshots were circulating like limited edition sneakers. Blogs started writing headlines before the pixels even settled. Comment sections turned into debate arenas. Was it real? Was it edited? Was it trolling? Because here's the thing about 50, he thrives on ambiguity. He'll post something that feels explosive, then sit back and let the speculation inflate it to stadium size, and the name attached? That's what raised the stakes. Jay-Z doesn't trend casually. When his name enters a viral storm, it's not background noise. It's front-page energy. He's known for calculated silence, for moving behind boardroom doors instead of comment sections. So seeing his name orbiting an alleged message situation felt like watching two completely different worlds collide. The online gladiator versus the chess-playing billionaire. The first wave of reactions was confusion. People were trying to decode tone, timestamps, phrasing. Social media analysts appeared out of nowhere, examining font sizes like it was forensic evidence. Look at the wording. Notice the timing. Why now? The internet became a courtroom without a judge. What made it even more intense was the lack of immediate clarification. No instant denials, no confirmation, just silence. And in celebrity culture, silence is gasoline. Because when no one explains, everyone imagines. Speculation grows legs. Narratives form without permission. Some fans immediately dismissed it as classic 50 trolling. They argued this is his brand stir the pot, watch it boil. Others weren't so sure. They pointed to history, to long-standing tension between camps, to interviews from years ago. Because in hip-hop culture, history doesn't fade. It archives. The tension wasn't loud. It was simmering, and that's more dangerous. When drama explodes instantly, it burns out fast. But when it unfolds slowly, when it teases without confirming, it lingers. It keeps the timeline restless, refreshing, waiting for the next move. Within hours, commentary channels were dissecting every angle. Some framed it as harmless online antics. Others framed it as escalation. Because when you reference alleged private messages involving a figure as calculated as Jay-Z, it's not just shade. It's narrative warfare. And here's where the psychology kicks in. 50 Cent thrives in open arenas. Public posts, visible reactions, direct engagement. Jay-Z, on the other hand, operates differently. He rarely engages publicly in digital back and forth. So when his name trends without his participation, the contrast becomes the story. Loud versus silent. Instigator versus strategist. That contrast fueled the frenzy even more. People began speculating about possible responses. Would Jay-Z address it? Would there be a statement? Would it be ignored completely? The anticipation became heavier than the original post. Because once expectation enters the room, tension multiplies. Meanwhile, memes started flooding timelines. Photoshopped images, fake reaction edits. The internet turned uncertainty into entertainment within seconds. That's the machine. It doesn't wait for facts. It waits for engagement. But beneath the humor, there was real curiosity. If these alleged messages are real, what do they mean? If they're exaggerated, why bring them up now? Timing in celebrity disputes is never random. It aligns with projects, headlines, cycles. And that's what made this moment feel deliberate. The longer Jay-Z stayed quiet, the louder the internet became. Silence was interpreted as strategy, as calculation, as refusal to dignify. Every possible motive was debated, and 50. He appeared, unbothered, which only intensified the suspense, because when the instigator looks relaxed, it suggests confidence. Whether that confidence is rooted in truth, trolling, or timing, nobody could confirm. And that uncertainty became addictive. By the end of the first wave, one thing was undeniable. And just when you thought the smoke would clear, the internet grabbed a fan and started blowing on it, because once the initial shock settled, the second wave hit reactions. Not just casual tweets, full-blown think pieces, livestream breakdowns, and comment sections that looked like digital battlegrounds. Everyone suddenly had insider energy. I've been told y'all, this was bound to happen. The confidence was unmatched. Celebrities and industry-adjacent figures started liking posts, posting cryptic emojis, dropping subtle commentary without actually saying anything. And in hip-hop culture, an emoji can mean more than a paragraph. A single side-eye face can ignite a conspiracy theory faster than a leaked track. Memes flooded timelines like it was a holiday. Split-screen edits of 50 Cent smiling next to chess. Boards labeled Jay-Z's next move. GIFs of popcorn. Fake group chat screenshots created purely for laughs. The internet doesn't just react, it produces. But beneath the jokes, the tension sharpened. Because people started revisiting history. Old interviews resurfaced. Past tension between camps got replayed like a documentary recap. Clips from years ago suddenly felt relevant again. The culture loves a callback, especially when it smells unfinished business. And then came the debates. Some argued that this is classic 50, master of trolling, king of calculated chaos. They claim this is entertainment, not escalation. Others insisted that referencing alleged private messages crosses into different territory. This isn't playful shade, they typed. This is strategic pressure. The conversation split into camps faster than a summer festival lineup. One side admired the boldness. The other side questioned the motive. What made it more explosive was the sheer contrast in personalities. 50 thrives in public arenas. He moves loudly, visibly, unapologetically. Jay-Z, on the other hand, is the embodiment of controlled silence. Boardroom energy, billionaire composure. So watching 50 light a match while Jay-Z remained quiet felt like watching two different playbooks collide. And silence. It became the loudest headline of all, because the longer Jay-Z didn't respond, the more intense the speculation grew. He's plotting. He's ignoring it. He's handling it privately. Every theory felt possible. The absence of reaction became the reaction. Then came the bloggers. Headlines grew sharper. Thumbnails grew more dramatic. Words like exposed, unfolding, and unexpected started popping up everywhere. The narrative inflated with every repost. This wasn't just a moment anymore. It was a storyline. Meanwhile, fans were dissecting every move from both sides. Did 50 post again? Did Jay-Z appear somewhere publicly? Did anyone close to them comment? The internet turned into a 24-hour surveillance operation fueled by Wi-Fi and caffeine. And let's not ignore the timing conversations. Whenever something trends this fast, people start asking why now. Is it connected to business? To headlines? To old tension resurfacing? Because in entertainment culture, timing is rarely random. It's choreography. The wildest part. No confirmed receipts were fully laid out. Just alleged references. Just enough ambiguity to keep the engine running. And ambiguity is addictive. It invites imagination. It encourages exaggeration. Pop culture comparisons exploded too. Some compared it to heavyweight rap rivalries from the past. Others joked that this felt like a chess match between a troll and a titan. One viral tweet said, "This makes reality TV look scripted." And honestly, the unpredictability felt cinematic. The most fascinating shift was how quickly the conversation moved from the alleged messages themselves to power dynamics. Who holds influence? Who controls narrative? Who wins by speaking? Who wins by staying silent? Because in high-profile disputes, sometimes the loudest move is restraint. Supporters of Jay-Z framed his silence as dominance. He doesn't respond to noise, they claimed. Supporters of 50 framed the post as fearless transparency. He says what others won't, they argued. The clash wasn't just about content. It was about philosophy. And while the culture debated, engagement numbers skyrocketed. Views, shares, comments. The algorithm was eating. Controversy fuels visibility. And this was premium-grade engagement. But here's where it got interesting. As days passed without a dramatic escalation, tension didn't fade. It transformed. Instead of explosive reactions, it became quiet anticipation. People weren't shouting anymore. They were watching, and just like that, the frenzy didn't explode into a screaming match. It evolved into something far more interesting. A power standoff built on silence, speculation, and strategic positioning. Because here's the truth nobody says out loud. In situations like this, the loudest reaction isn't always a response. Sometimes it's restraint. And Jay-Z's restraints became its own headline. Days passed. No dramatic interviews. No impulsive live streams. No emotional subtweets. Just calculated quiet. And that quiet started shifting the narrative. What began as 50 Cent tossing a digital match into the timeline slowly turned into a debate about influence. Who actually controls the room? The one making noise, or the one refusing to acknowledge it? 50 Cent continued to move like 50 Cent, unbothered, slightly amused, posting as usual, engaging the crowd without directly escalating. That's part of his formula. He thrives in visibility. He understands that engagement is currency. Every comment fuels momentum. Every repost amplifies the stage. But Jay-Z operates differently. He doesn't feed public back and forth. He moves through boardrooms, partnerships, legacy plays. His silence reads less like avoidance and more like calculation. And that contrast is what turned this from internet drama into a philosophical debate about power, because in hip-hop culture, there are two types of dominance. There's the loud kind, direct, fearless, confrontational, and then there's the quiet kind, strategic, patient, untouchable. This moment felt like those two forces staring at each other across a digital battlefield. The aftermath became less about the alleged messages themselves and more about what this says about public image. 50 Cent has built his brand on fearless commentary. He's never shied away from confrontation. That unpredictability keeps him trending. It keeps him relevant. It keeps the audience locked in. Jay-Z, on the other hand, has built his image on elevation, corporate power, long-term positioning. He doesn't respond to every spark because his influence doesn't rely on noise. And that difference created a fascinating split in public perception. Some fans saw 50's move as bold and transparent. Others saw it as unnecessary provocation. Some interpreted Jay-Z's silence as dignified. Others labeled it strategic indifference. The interpretation depended entirely on who you asked. But what's undeniable is that both names trended. And trending equals visibility. From a business standpoint, moments like this ripple through everything. Streaming numbers spike, interviews resurface, old rivalries get replayed. Even unrelated projects benefit from the renewed spotlight. Controversy doesn't just shake the culture, it stimulates it. Yet the most dramatic twist wasn't an explosive. Confrontation.it was the absence of one. No public war. No headline-grabbing clapback. Just tension suspended in midair. And suspended tension is addictive. Because without closure, curiosity grows. People kept refreshing feeds, expecting a counter-move. They analyzed public appearances. They scanned lyrics from past songs. They speculated about behind-the-scenes conversations that may or may not have happened. The internet hates unanswered questions, and this moment delivered exactly that. The cultural takeaway became layered. This wasn't just about alleged messages. It was about narrative control, about how influence manifests differently depending on personality and platform. 50 Cent controls conversation by igniting it. Jay-Z controls perception by rising above it. And when those two strategies collide, the result isn't chaos. It's suspense. As weeks passed, the intensity cooled publicly, but the ripple effect remained. Commentators still referenced it in debates. Fans still argued about who won. The moment became a case study in modern celebrity dynamics, how a single post can shift headlines without ever fully detonating the biggest impact. It reinforced both brands. 50 remained the unpredictable disruptor. Jay-Z remained the composed strategist. Neither persona cracked, neither narrative collapsed, and in a strange way, that might be the most powerful outcome of all, because sometimes the goal isn't to destroy the other side. Sometimes it's simply to remind the world you're still capable of shaking the room. The alleged messages may never be fully clarified. The private context may remain private, but the cultural moment, that already happened. And once a moment like that enters the timeline, it doesn't disappear. It becomes reference material, a reminder, a spark that proved how quickly the internet can erupt when heavyweight names intersect. The real cliffhanger isn't what was posted. Who really controlled this moment? Was it 50 Cent lighting the match and letting the timeline burn on its own? Or was it Jay-Z mastering the art of silence and proving that sometimes the strongest move is no move at all? Because let's be honest, the internet picks sides faster than a playoff game. Drop your take in the comments. Don't play neutral. If you think 50 shook the culture on purpose, say that. If you believe Jay-Z's silence was the ultimate power move, stand on it. This is where the real debate happens, not in filtered headlines. And if this breakdown gave you angles you didn't even consider, go ahead and smash that like button like it owes you money. I'm talking full force click. Let the algorithm know. We're not here for surface level tea, we're here for the layered, slow burn drama. Make sure you subscribe because around here, the timeline never rests. One post turns into a frenzy. One name trends and the entire culture shifts. We connect the dots before the blogs catch up. Turn on notifications so you're not the last one asking, wait, what happened? By the time you refresh, we've already dissected it. This isn't just gossip. This is narrative warfare. And you're watching it unfold in real time. Welcome to Truth Tattle, where silence speaks, posts explode, and every headline has a hidden layer. Stay ready.